I'm no longer allowed in Brisbane. I've been banned from the precinct.
Let's get to
Okay. I took a hit, boys.
This is what a peak alpha male looks like. I mean, you just listened to this Looksmaxxer's voice, and this is obviously what a peak alpha male should sound like.
I'm no longer getting the 3 surgeries in the US. Things happened.
If you're a smoker, I have a tip.
Okay, I'm obviously not making fun of this guy's voice. I'm making fun of the fact that he's clearly faking his voice, trying to sound like Batman, when in reality he just ends up sounding like a Timo version of Corp's husband.
Hello, Corpse.
Hello, Pokey. I'm not gonna murder you.
And no, I'm not just assuming that he's faking his voice. If you go to any of his streams and listen to him, you'll quickly notice that his real voice sounds nothing like what you just heard.
We have a lot of these primitive desires for conquest, resources, love.
I'm no longer getting the 3 surgeries in the US.
But this wouldn't be the first time that this Looksmaxxer was caught fraud-maxing. That's right, guys. My favorite Looksmaxxer, or should I say, fraud-maxer, is back at it again, and this time he's hit rock bottom, which is actually impressive, because I initially believed that Looksmaxxer Androgenic had hit rock bottom more than a month ago when he got exposed for being the textbook definition of insecurity, when he got his wig snatched by a random kid, which exposed his cook Caroline for the public to see. And this whole thing is made even more hilarious when you consider the fact that this Looksmaxxer's main content revolves around him mugging strangers, looking down on chopped people in public. So the fact that he got his wig snatched and got exposed as a chop fraud himself, who is so insecure about the way that he looks that he wears a wig to hide his cooked hairline just to go out in public and look down on other people. I mean, this happening to him is just peak cinema at this point. But we have to remember that Wig Maxer Androgenic is the peak alpha male. In fact, nothing says that you're the peak alpha male more than literally looking like you're about to enter a drag race competition with all that makeup on your face. But for all of you insecure people who get mugged on a daily basis, fret not, because alpha male Androgenic's got all of us covered with his overpriced program that he sells to his gullible viewers, where he teaches them how to not be insecure.
See, back when I started my transformation, I was in that exact same position. I was that kid who got laughed at and made fun of while I was too awkward to even talk to anyone. I was a twigget.
That's right, guys. You want to know why you should buy Wigogenic's program? It's because he used to be in that same exact position that you're in right now, okay? He used to be that insecure little guy who got made fun of, but nowadays he's that insecure guy who's still getting made fun of. The only difference is that he hides his insecurities behind a wig and makeup just to go out in public and mug people in order to feel better about himself. In fact, just a few days ago, someone even called him out during one of his mugging streams and caused him to reevaluate his entire life.
Wait, can I be honest? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah?
Why do you feel like you need to do all this?
It worked.
It works?
Yeah.
How so? You're getting attention?
Yeah.
I see that. Is there better ways of doing it than coming to the Valley on Saturday nights and trying to mug people that are pissed and not at their best form?
Well, you know, I do a lot of different things, you know?
What else do you do?
Not sure.
Okay.
Anyway, take care, brother.
And that's the thing, right? Is it truly fulfilling to wake up every single day, put makeup on your face, put a wig, just to go outside and mug strangers in public? But no, it's loser behavior. In fact, it's giving me final boss of insecurity. And Androgenic knows that. That's why he couldn't come up with an answer when a guy pressed him. And here's the thing when it comes to these Looksmaxxers. When I say that these Looksmaxxers look down on people for a living and to boost their own ego, I'm not kidding. In fact, one of these Looksmaxxing influencers, I think his name is Testicular or Perpendicular, pick your pick, well, even he went on record and said that anybody who doesn't conform to their Looksmaxxing standard should be viewed as subhuman.
What's subhuman?
Subhuman is a term that we use in like the Looksmaxx community for like horrendously ugly people.
Where would they fall on the scale of like 1 to 10? Is that like below a 5?
Yeah, traditionally like around like a 3.
What's the most that you could increase points from 1 to 10?
10 to 15 percentiles would be like maximum if you're to like Looksmaxx to the extent that I am.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe for a second that anyone who's bashing their head with a Minecraft hammer, who's going through 50 surgeries, who's putting makeup on their face, to the point where they start looking like SCP entities, who's putting a wig to hide her cook Caroline, well, I don't think they should have any say when it comes to what makes someone subhuman. But I'll tell you what the term subhuman is. Subhuman behavior is when you not only contribute nothing to our society, but you're actually a detriment to the people around you. And that's exactly what these Looksmaxxing influencers are. Because the only thing these influencers are doing is destroying our impressionable youth by promoting their 50 mental disorders to them, such as egomania, narcissism, and most importantly, body dysmorphia. Let's go back to what I was saying. I initially believed that Androgenic had hit rock bottom when he got exposed in public for being a fraud maxer, but then he hit a new low when he decided to risk a Clash Royale minor despite his friend warning him multiple times that he was JB maxing.
I'm Ronan. You're very pretty. Can I get your number? Whoa, Andrew, bro, we gotta go. No, bro, Andrew. You're out. Dude, we were JB Maxing, bro. JB Maxing, bro.
But to my great surprise, Epstein Maxer Creepogenic managed to hit another new low a few days ago when he got knocked down live on stream after pushing a woman.
What's going on? Let's go. Whoa, oh my god. Whoa. Woohoo! I took a hit, boys.
Now, this is definitely the face of an SCP entity that's definitely reevaluating its life.
I took a hit, boys.
This guy got clocked so hard that he went from talking like Batman on his TikToks
I'm no longer getting the 3 surgeries in the US.
I took a hit, boys.
to now talking like he just hit puberty in high school. But the cherry on top is the fact that Androgenic was flexing his muscles all night, acting intimidating in front of all those scrawny kids, just to get served a biscuit and get knocked down by a random guy with a mullet.
I took a hit, boys.
Now Androgenic is right about one thing. He took a mean hit. And I'm not just referring to the mean hook that he ate, but this Uncanny Valley villain from a JoJo filler episode 100% took a mean hit of a sus substance. I mean, just ignore the fucked up makeup on his face and his fucked up facial structure for a second, and just look at his eyes. He's 100% high on something. Because we have to remember that this is the same guy who brags live on stream about being on all kinds of sus substances.
In good shape, but I'm sure he's probably used some type of steroids. Bro, of course I've used steroids. I've used everything.
But most importantly, this is the same degenerate who was sitting next to his tweet-maxing friend perpendicular as he was ODing at a club next to him, but instead of helping his friend who was literally death-maxing in front of him by calling 911 for an ambulance, Androgenic thought it would be a better idea to offer his friend even more sus substances.
When did you last take blue? You want natty? You want natty? You want an addy.
But even though I love to make fun of this chop-maxing influencer whenever he hits a new low, I kinda have to defend him when it comes to this situation. Because I've actually seen a lot of people spreading misinformation and saying that he just pushed a random woman out of nowhere, which is not exactly what happened. This random woman that Androgenic pushed was actually harassing him all night and even went as far as to hit him multiple times.
Stay out of it. Yeah, brother. Are you racist?
No.
Well, everyone's saying you're racist.
Okay.
They're just the maxes, bro. And they said, you are a racist.
Okay.
And you make fun of black people. Well, you better not be.
Okay.
You can be so off and what the fuck you look like.
This guy's a good guy, man.
Whatever thing is racist.
Like, this random woman appeared out of nowhere and started yapping about how Androgenic is racist, and look, this chop freak has tweeted some sus things in the past, there's no denying it. But the fact that this random woman appears out of nowhere, starts pressing Androgenic, even though Androgenic, to my great surprise, tries to defuse the situation by saying, you know what, I'm not interested, please get away from me.
Whatever thing is racist.
Opinion doesn't matter. It's who he is as a person.
Yeah, but I heard he's a racist.
Yeah, but do you know he's a racist as a person?
To be honest, I'm just not interested.
You're not. Be racist on Aboriginal land.
I'm not interested, guys.
But she just kept pressing him, and when words weren't enough to get his attention, she started hitting him.
Why is good to you're a racist.
Okay.
You're not racist to me and my brother. Aboriginal people.
Andrew!
I do want to give some quick props to Androgenic here for keeping his composure instead of roid raging, because don't get it twisted, at this point, he was getting assaulted and he would have had every right to clock this whole hag. I mean, imagine being in wig-maxing Baldurgenic shoes for a second and getting randomly approached by a woman half your size and half your height. I don't know why I said half your size when she literally looks like she's got the BMI of an asteroid. But imagine being approached by an old hag who's half your height but double your size and then randomly being called racist multiple times just for her to start hitting you.
Why is good to you're a racist.
Okay.
You're not racist to me and my brother. Aboriginal people.
Andrew! Bro,
He's get deported.
why is he get deported? I can't speak about it.
You get deported.
Bro, get this fucking subhuman away from me. Get this goblin away from me, bro. What? Who is this goblin, bro? What? What? Sub 3, bro. Sub 3. Get her out of here, bro. Get this testicle away from me, bro.
What am I even looking at? You've got this 4'11" who somehow got the BMI of Queso trying to taunt Androgenic who's like double her height, and then you've got Androgenic calling her a testicle when his head looks like a testicle itself, and you've got this random guy with a red shirt saying that she's a sub 3 or whatever, probably some looksmaxxing terms that I don't know about, and then you've got this woman, this old hag, doing this face while assaulting Androgenic. Brother, it's like I'm looking at a gathering of the disabled. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually commend Androgenic for keeping his composure and for deciding to flee from this Elden Ring optional boss looking ass ass instead of fighting her, even though he had every right to defend himself. I mean, you can just tell that this old hag was completely unhinged. In fact, when Androgenic escaped from her, she decided to aggro another person. Like, she decided to aggro a random girl, which is most likely why Androgenic decided to come back and shove this random hag to try to protect that random girl. And sadly for him, he got knocked down for it. But even though Androgenic wasn't in the wrong in this situation in particular, everyone sided against him and thought he was in the wrong, which goes to show that reputation is everything. And if you're known for being an insecure fraud maxer who goes out in public with makeup and a wig just to look down on random strangers and flex on them, and when you're out there normalizing your body this to your audience of impressionable teenagers on top of selling them overpriced programs where you teach them how not to be insecure despite being the final boss of insecurity yourself, people are going to be reluctant to side with you. Smash like and subscribe if Androgenic is testicle maxing.
Money, money, money.